Greetings, citizens, and we are coming up to the last day of ships in the 2951 Intergalactic Aerospace Expo coming up on November 27th. Not that far away. We're getting excited about this, and we're going to get excited about seeing the ships from MISC. Now, MISC is one of the oldest in game. I don't know how old they are, but oldest in the development of Star Citizen manufacturers, because during the Kickstarter there was various levels, and one of them was to get one ship that was the ship at the beginning to start out with, the Freelancer. So we're gonna find MISC here. How come I can't find it? There we go. So the Freelancer was uh, the ship to start out with. It was a ship that holds a lot of cargo, has a kind of a cool interior. It used to have a cool ladder to get in, almost like the 400i, but that's changed. One drawback is it's got these pods here on the side. These pods here were shown in pictures to rotate for VTOL up and down, but the size of them and how they rotate, they would just smash into the ground, so it doesn't really seem to work. It's got a flat opening, like a ramp in the back, with a little bit of work, a little wiggling. You can get a rock in here and use this for rock mining, but I would not recommend it. You can also get into the ship through here. There's a bed. There's like a little living area here. There's two cargo in the Freelancer. There's like a smaller cargo and a larger cargo area. Seating for 4. Not a great viewport for looking out, but it's an alright ship to fly, but it's not one that I would recommend buying with cash, but maybe buy in the game. The Freelancer Der Expedition, to me, kind of looks like one of those weird looking caterpillars that have like the bright colors and the round little nubbly bits on it, but it's there. The Freelancer Max is a cool one. It is a bit wider than the Freelancer. If you're going to try using a Freelancer to mine with a rock, the Freelancer Max, which has a little bit wider area, although the turret does seem to get a little bit in the way, but this will fit a rock much easier. So this is one I would recommend if you're going to do some rock mining. Take them all out. We have the Starfare heavy refueling. Refueling was mentioned in the roadmap, so there's work happening on that. So this is going to be kind of an interesting, not really at the time right now, one of the best ships for usefulness. Kind of a little bit hard to get around in. I've got lost, I believe, in this one. Or am I thinking of the Gemini? Or is this, yeah, the Starfare? I think that's what it was. But kind of an interesting looking ship. Kind of a cool ship. Very industrial. I like it. Then we have the Hull ships. We have the Hull E, the Hull D, the Hull C, the Hull B, and the Hull A. Basically, we have the little guy, and you can see here, this is what it looks like folded up. This one's folded up. This one's folded up. And then they get bigger, they actually extend out, and all these cargo containers get slapped on them. So when Hull E or Hull D is fully loaded with cargo from one place to another, you're going to be able to bring a massive amount of cargo. Like, look at like a regular ship. Like, let's find the Freelancer. So if we look at the Freelancer specs here, and if I was going to go look at how much cargo it holds, 66 SCU. 66 SCU. Now if I was looking at the Caterpillar, I think it's about 500 and something. Let's go to the Hull E. Hull E, when this is out, currently not in game, 98,304 SU of cargo. This is going to be massive. Now the problem is, it's all these cargo containers. Just imagine a train or one of those large ocean-going shipping vessels. All the cargo is on the outside, all these containers on the outside. So they'll be exposed to gunfire, exposed to piracy, but if you can make it with a full load of something, even if it's something with a small margin for profit, just by sheer mass, you're going to make a ton of money. The problem is, I don't believe any Hull ships are currently flyable, and I don't think they're going to be flyable at the expo, but they'll start with a smaller one, and you work your way up. Now, these are ships that are usually available around the expo in what is known as a limited Hull sale. I think that's what it's called. Basically, they'll say 2 or 3 times on this day they're going to be for sale. We're going to have like a few hundred of them for sale, or however many there are. And during that time, you can try to get one, but they'll sell out. They're also expensive. Just imagine how much money you can make using a massive vehicle like this. Because of that, the cost of the vehicle, they're hugely expensive. I don't know how expensive they are, but they're very expensive. So you can look into that, but I definitely don't think anyone who really doesn't know about the hulls are going to want to um, buy them. No, there you go, Gemini. So I don't know if it's the same as the Starfare, but the Starfare Gemini is the one that I've gotten into and gotten lost in. Interior wise, can't really say I'm a fan of that. Kind of an odd looking ship. Freelancer MISC is fun to fly, a little bit beefier version. Again, it's got little bumps in the front, kind of like the DUR. I'm assuming they're for scanning. A little more rockets and bullets on that. We have the Reliant Core, which is a cool ship that these wings can fly straight up and down or side by side, and the pilot seats rotate inside this cool bubble here. So it kind of is adjusting and moving around as you're shifting between VTOL and flight mode. It is a fun ship to fly. I like this ship a lot. I've used it quite a bit just for flying around. I haven't really done a lot of combat with it. I've tried, but I really just like it because of how it looks, how unique this ship is. Then we have the Endeavor. Now, the Endeavor is going to be one of those crazy ships that is very modular. You can see we have this gravity ring in there. We've got these weird green hydroponic bubbles. We've got there is like a radar dish. There's like landing bays. There's so many things you can put on this ship. So many ways you can adjust and move and modify this ship that comes into pieces here. This is going to be a ship for long expeditions with a whole crew of people doing different tasks, doing exploration and science. This is going to be a cool ship. It's definitely one that is still in concept, still not in game, but it's definitely one that's been having a lot of design put into it. The Reliant Mako says reporting. I don't know what that means. If there's going to be like kind of a news gameplay eventually in there. The Sen light science and the Tana, which is a light fighter. We have the Prospector. Now the Prospector is a ship definitely to look at in game to try out if you want to try out the mining loop. What makes the Prospector interesting is it holds 32 SU of cargo, but it says 0 here, and that's because it's a confusing ship. These pods here hold 32 SU of cargo. You can basically go up to a asteroid, bust it apart with the mining laser, and unlike the Argo Mole, you can use the laser as a pilot. This is a one-person ship as opposed to one that is honestly better with a crew than soloing. This is definitely for soloing, and you fill up these pods. The plan is that you'll have extra pods on the ship, and you can jettison these and start filling up new ones. And these jettisoned ones can be picked up by another ship and refined or brought to a refinery somewhere else where this can keep on working. And I believe there should be like 4 sets of pods in there. I'm not 100% sure of that, but that's the plan. So right now you can hold 32 SU of cargo, but the eventual plan is to have more by being able to jettison these and have more. But as far as making money, this is a ship that I used to make a ton of money in the game before refining, and ever since refining, it's still a huge part of making money. The only difference is now I'm usually going after Quantanium, then I'm refining it, then I'm shipping it with one of my other ships and bringing it to a place to sell. Still doing quite well, and unlike rocks, it's still easy to find mineable items with this ship using the new radar. It's actually a good fun. So if you want to try mining, wait till day 9, take out a prospector, head to an asteroid, head to any planet surface, and do some mining. If you want to know how, just look at any of my videos on mining with a prospector, or give it a go. And I'll be making kind of a new video during the expo, taking out some of the ships, and this is definitely one I'll take out and go over. So the Prospector is a fun ship and a good money-making ship. Then we have the racing ships. We have the Razor, and the Razor EX, the Razor LX. Racing ships are fast and fun to fly, but currently the racing modules aren't really part of the game anymore. There used to be, I believe, a race by Grim Hex, not really working at the moment, but there are a lot of people who race these. There are people, fans, who put in together different events, not only racing events, but there's an event called the Daymar Rally. Look that up. Whoever puts that together does an awesome job, and it is a huge fan event, and it is amazing. And every year I watch it, and I'm just excited about it. But there are people who put together racing racing leagues, and it'll race everything from razors to ground vehicles in different locations. And so these are the racing variants. We have a stealth, we're racing, and we have this luxury version, but they're all fast, all handle well, and all something that you should check out. So that is it. That is the last day of ships showing at the expo. Now, what I mean by that is that the last day where you're having new ships showing, because the next thing coming up will be armor and weapons, and there's still going to be ships available to rent at that time, including any of the ships that are rentable here on this day will be rentable on day 10, coming up in the next video.